How's it going, everyone? This is your host Frank over at Popular Gaming. Today I welcome you to week 16. This is the game before our last game of the regular season. By now we have put up together a very good record for us here at the on our division, and we're gonna go and proceed to the postseason. However, we do have some issues to take care of before we do take that step. If we want to make a deep run into the playoffs and possibly see a championship and a Super Bowl game. Right here, we're gonna face off against the Browns, very young and up and coming team that the Browns are. So we're not gonna take them lightly. Uh, but we are going to try to establish our dominance simply because of the way that this team is built. Defensively, it is an unmovable object. However, offensively, I think you can say the same thing. Although we're able to move down the field, at the end we're not able to put those points on the board for us, and that is pretty much hurting us pretty bad. Because we are turning the ball on key plays, and we're just not able to put as many points as we need to. And we're gonna need to put points, big time if we want to beat the every team that makes it to the postseason is gonna be a very difficult opponent. Opponents that the only way we're gonna be able to beat them is gonna be by putting every single point that we can on that board for us, as opposed to just giving the ball back to them and scoring no points on them. That would make it very, very easy for us to lose games in the postseason. Right here, I'm just going to take care of this. First and down, and then some 18 tough yards right here. And this is how we like to start, fast and aggressive and efficiently as well. So we have started fast and aggressive. That efficient is yet to be seen, as the way I measure efficiency is how many points we can score on a drive. If we end up scoring a kick, then that's kind of like low to mid efficiency. If we do end up scoring a touchdown, and that is what I would call very efficient. If we're able to score back-to-back touchdowns on back-to-back possessions, then that would be highly efficient for me. And those levels of efficiency are haven't been seen by us. Offensively. Defensively, we are a very efficient team. We're able to keep those players from scoring on us. And right there, that's a terrific completion and a great route by number 17. You see him right there celebrating, very rightfully so. That's a very good touchdown right there. So right now we have a very good drive right here at home. And it is to be expected. Home, it has a little bit extra because we do want to put up a good show for our fans. Right here, we're gonna take care of this punt return, and at this point, like I said, we're just taking care of those issues that we need to take care of before we take the first step into the playoffs. But I'm very glad to tell you guys that by now we have clinched a spot on the playoffs, and we're just going to be looking to get that home field advantage that is going to end up being very beneficial for us here. Um, and at this point, these last two games, the one thing that we should avoid, although I don't have any control over it, would be injuries. You know, I would hate for us to get injured. Um, so I'm not gonna be asking for the ball as much because I know that my explosiveness and my quickness and my speed is gonna be needed down the line as we progress into the playoffs. But right now, it would be too much of a risk now that we have ensured a place on the playoffs, to just be asking the ball every other play on every other play. So I'm gonna be playing it very conservatively, and I'm just gonna talk about the issues, the good and the bad that we have seen uh, on our season as a rookie, as well as the ugly. Of course, there's just been a lot of ugly. Believe you me when I said that. If you've been watching all the videos, all the episodes, week in and week out, then you understand what I'm saying. But if you don't, let me just give you a little overview of what the ugly in our season has been. To where pretty much, we have been uh, the defensive backs. They have been able to shut us down there on the field. We haven't been able to put up consistent amount of catches down the field, and it's mostly due to drop balls and I guess lack of toughness would describe my play style. Down the field on deep passes. Um, However, slowly but steady, we have been improving on that as I have had multiple breakout passes, down the field for 50 plus yards. And, I am very proud about that because that's about the only way we're going to address that issue that we have very early on our season, on our career for that matter. Another issue that we have is the interceptions that our QB is throwing. It seems that every other play he throws an interception, and that is hurting us because that takes time away from our offense. That puts more time on our defense. The more snaps that our defense plays, the more prone they are to just give in to the opponent's offense. Right here, you see us hitting the 2 minute mark on the second quarter. We're about to get into that second half of the game, but before that, we do want to put up some points before we approach the halftime. And you know, one of our strengths that we have established is the middle of the field as far as running routes that go across from one end to the other. We have had many plays in which we just break out for a touchdown from a simple slant route. That right there, I'm very proud about that. If anything, I consider that to be the strength of my play, uh, of my game. I mean, when I'm able to make those types of plays, I'm also able to win those tough yards. When it comes down to it, that's a very good reputation to build for yourself. Being able to get tough yards, being able to be that tough and reliable player when everything is on the line, as we will soon be facing situations, just like that, where everything is on the line and you need to make a play. Your offense needs to make a play, and the ball is gonna have to come your way one way or another. And but more than that, you are gonna have to be able to make a play when you have the ball. You're not supposed to drop balls. You're not supposed to fumble. You're not supposed to come up short of a conversion or of a touchdown. So those are some of the things that I would like to prove in the postseason. Simply because I know that if I am able to prove all that, then more than likely all the mistakes and all of the ugly that was seen at the beginning of my career will be, forgotten about. Right there, you see that quickness right there. I'm talking about that twitch I get on my step. Um, it just makes people look a little silly sometimes. So that was a very solid return for 40 yards. You know, that's another strength in my game. The return game right there. Right there, I was quite open, but oh, injury timeout. Was that our QB? Yeah, that's our QB laying on the ground. I hope he's just out of it for a couple of plays at most. You know, because it's just funny how I was talking about injuries at the beginning of the game, and that right there, has put us on edge. Right now I'm a little bit nervous that we have lost Smith. Even I'm okay if we lost him for 2 to 3 weeks. That's the timetable for the playoffs. So if it is for 2 to 3 weeks, I'm fine. I'm kind of hoping that it is for only a couple of plays, but even if it's only that right there, that was a good play, good pass by Chase Daniel. If it was for only a couple of plays, then I'm good. If it's for a couple of weeks, it makes me a little nervous. If it's for a little bit more than that, then I don't have any other word to describe the situation. Right there, it says abdominal tear will return, able to return for this game. Oh boy. So that right there took him out of the game, and uh, I don't know. It's not looking good for us. I'll update you on his status on the next week. But right now I don't know what his status is gonna be for next week. So there's only two scenarios that we're facing. One where we get him back uh, in time for for our first playoff game, or the second scenario is we don't get him back uh, for in time for the playoffs. And there's also third where he will be out of the ending season ending list. Um, so we only have out of those three possibilities, only one of them is good for us. So we only have a 1/3 chance that we'll get Alex Smith back, and I'm not liking my chances. So I'm just gonna assume that he's not gonna be back in time for the playoffs. We might even I'm even gonna assume that we're gonna have to go ahead and proceed with Daniel here, which is already making me a little bit nervous. If I'm honest with you guys, um, looks like we're gonna have to be sticking to those in routes because I don't believe number 10 is gonna be able to just sling it down the field like this one. That's a very good throw right there. This is a very good catch and just amazing yards after the catch right there. That's a very explosive play, just like I was talking about earlier, where I take care of business after I receive the ball. Um, but yeah, we're gonna have to be doing a lot of those plays if we want to see some success going forward with number 10. I'm a little bit disappointed about this game because I think I just jinxed myself at the beginning when I said we were trying to avoid injuries, but there was nothing in my power for us to avoid those injuries. That injury in particular to Alex Smith. So I'm greatly disappointed about that injury. Because if anything, we were gonna need Alex in the playoffs. He's a very experienced QB. He would have gotten the job done. We're just gonna try to see him wait if we. I don't want to get my hopes up because regardless, we're gonna have to step it up. We're gonna have to step up our game. And like I said, I'm gonna update you on his status on the next one. Right here, we are seeing the end of it. We dominated this game, and this is Frank, your host, signing out, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.